Those good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the Prophet used to live. Good old days, good old days, when the Sahaba used to live. Good old days, good old days, those good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the Prophet used to live. Good old days, good old days, when the Sahaba used to live.
Almost like around 9.
When the
We should also show our commitment and eager to learn from him. If we don't do that, the people are just walking around, talking here and there,
Yes, sir.
This is the you were speaking to yesterday, before you left. In the card system. I met you in the car before you left yesterday. So finally drops it.
Okay.
So keep
Keep it in.
That's what we want. At least we should be seated and then we continue inshallah before it's complete.
Whatever. And you do work promoting Christianity, this is totally haram. But if it's just a name, and it's a relief organization, and you help Muslims and non-Muslims, people who are in need, without any affiliation with religion, there's no problem in that at all. This is good work, and you're collaborating on something that is righteous and virtuous. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
My name is Mohammed. My question is, it is always the case that any authentic act will have a reference from Quran. Like example, I heard someone say that where the Allah in Quran that even if I to responses, they ignore their is dying.
You believe that? No, seriously, no. See, do you believe that? Alhamdulillah. The issue is, when you say that any hadith that is not found in the Quran, it is da'if or not authentic, this is illogical. Yet Fajr having 2 rak'ahs, Maghrib having 3 rak'ahs, Dhuhr, Asr and Isha having 4 rak'ahs in the Quran. Any found? Each rak'ah has 2 sajda. And in the 4 and 3 rak'ahs there is a first tashahhud and second tashahhud. Where is this? There's nowhere to find. Percentage 2.5% over gold, silver, and things that you sell and buy. You irrigate yourself 10% over crops that are irrigated by rainfall, not by you. Different percent. And 20% over any treasure you find, 1/5 of it, a rikaz. Show me in the Quran. And to imbeciles, to people who don't have knowledge, when they come up with such an allegation, you tell them, you prove it to me. He says, I don't know the Quran. I don't know Arabic. Surah Al-A'raf, that Allah has made it prohibited to speak without knowledge about Allah. I hope. Animal health, okay. First of all, the Prophet said, generally speaking, alayhi salatu wassalam, في كل كبد, said when a man gave water to a dog, and we know dogs are najis and supposed to keep them, and they prevent angels from entering a home, etc. slaughter to that animal, the companions were, weren't we ordered in the beginning of Islam to kill irrigated? And the Prophet said, don't kill dogs, except a black dog that has 2 yellow dots on top of his eyes. That, yes, we can care for animals. Vaccinating swines, if it is made to preserve them, to cultivate them, I personally believe that this is not permissible, because you are collaborating on haram, on vice and transgression. It's like renting your apartment or your home. Yes, but you're helping in activities that are haram. So as a vet, I believe that you should not do such things. But if someone brings you a sick pork that needs help, as a human gesture, you can help. But not to fix it and vaccinate it and make it fat and give it hormones, no. What? No, you did not get me right. Definitely. I'll tell you and explain to you. When you say, I understand the question. I will answer you. I've been doing this for 25 years, so I understood them. Now, the issue is, I would never tell you remove the imam. Yani what? Well, like bring an AK-47 Kalashnikov and remove the imam. Sheikh said remove the imam. A'udhu billah. No, you don't have the authority to remove anyone. I may have and pray another jama'ah. But your question. In yes or no answer. On TV programs, and I have limited time. But when you come and ask me for clarification, instead of giving you a fish every day, I teach you how to fish. I'm not going to be here forever. So instead, I'd rather show you the process of thinking, going to the origin of the problem. Praying or the prayer is silent, correct? If it is silent prayer or silent rak'ah, reciting the Fatiha for you as a ma'moom, as a follower, this pillar does not fall. You're not exempted in silent rak'ahs, except if you come late and the imam is in the ruku'. I don't have to recite the Fatiha. I say, Allahu Akbar, go loud rak'ahs. In loud rak'ahs, it's an issue of dispute. Some scholars say it is a farz and a rukun for the imam, for the follower, and for the person praying alone individually to recite the Fatiha in every rak'ah. And this stands the great scholars of Islam and Imam Bukhari. And Imam Bukhari has a small booklet on this. May Allah have mercy on his soul. The other opinion, which I am inclined to follow, and who said this opinion, Sheikh? Imam Malik ibn Anas of the Maliki school of thought, Sheikh al Ibn Taymiyyah has a small booklet which is addressed in Arabic, Al-Ilmam fi hukmi al-qira'ati khalf al-imam. Very small, it is sold in Arabic, I don't know if it's translated. The recitation of the imam in loud rak'ahs suffices the follower. So if he recited it, whether I heard it or not, I came late or not, it's sufficient for me. Book, Sifatu Salat al-Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam. And the Imam Malik's opinion and Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah falls in logic. Because if I come in the rak'ah and the Imam says, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ Allahu Akbar. When am I going to recite the Fatiha? Wait, please wait. Pull him from behind. He's already in ruku'. What should I do? I can't. Reciting the surah is fine. So the opinion that says that the Fatiha, I'm exempted from reciting it in loud rak'ah, is the most authentic opinion.
In silent rak'ah, where you are able to complete.
Correct.
And now goes for ruku'. What should we do?
You came with him from the beginning? I taught you how to fish. Apparently, I have to give you a net. I will answer you. If I came late and the Imam is in ruku', whether silent or loud, I'm exempted. I go for ruku'. A Ferrari Imam or I'm a Ninja Turtle. If he's a Ferrari Imam, and I prayed behind those in Turkey, whoa, mashallah, from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. No, my prayer is invalid. My prayer is invalid. I cannot pray behind such an Imam. The Imam finishes 4 rak'ahs. I'm still, alhamdulillah. This is my problem. I have to work on it. Okay? Barakallahu fi. I think the fish is too big now. It's a shark.
The following question goes, in nowadays, there are a lot of forceful marriages.
A lot of?
Forceful marriages.
Okay.
Most young women are forced by their parents to get married to people they don't love. Cousins, uncles.
Uncles?
Yes.
Okay. Then why say yes? You see, this is the question. Don't say yes as if it's happening. Anyhow, no problem. Okay.
What are the implications on both parents that do this to their parents?
First of all, this is a pivotal issue, something that is of a great importance. I'm addressing, this is your life. Nobody can force you to get married. Make a stance, put your foot down, and say no. Stupid. With all due respect, yeah? I like to use this word a lot. It's so insulting. No, but what can you do? I'm traveling tonight. You're gonna really stupid. Why? She says, sure, they want me to marry this cousin, this man, this. I said, wait. How old are you? I'm 45. What are you waiting for? Santa Claus? He's not going to get married. So what are you waiting for? Or she says, I'm 23. I said, okay, that's a good. She said, nothing. Does he have a good job? Oh yes, he's a managing director in a company. Gets paid very well. Does he have his own house? Or he wants to portion his eye like a pirate? Does he have a hook on his hand or a wooden leg? No, he's handsome. He goes to the gym 5 times a week and mashallah is fine looking. And goes party? No, Sheikh, he's in the first row of the masjid. He's very righteous, he's very pious. Is he stingy? Is he a person of rage and anger issues? So no, he's very like this, checks all boxes. I think even the questioner would marry him. I don't know. So when this happens, you have a problem here. Slip from you, it's gone. And I've seen this hundreds of times. But if the boy does not check all the boxes, Sheikh, he's rich, I can't look in his face. I tried, I can't, I resent him. Sheikh, he doesn't have a job. He lives on his father's welfare. Whether your parents are happy or not, even if your father beats you up, no problem. Tolerate the beating, but say no is no. Because this is your body, this is your life. When you have 2 children and you get divorced after 5 years, your parents are not going to be there for you. They're not going to comfort you. They're going to say, it's your fault. Do your due diligence and look in the validity of this man being a good proposal or not. Ameen.
First of all, I asked my question and I get this opportunity at least once. Say hi with you because I love you for the sake of Allah.
May Allah Azza wa Jal love you back and love all our audience and viewers. And may Allah Azza wa Jal gather us in JANNATUL-EMAN with those who love one another.
Can I once say something with you?
1,000 dollars.
Barakallah feek. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So the Sheikh, the brother, is asking me, what are the virtues of shaking the hands? The Prophet said, any 2 Muslims who meet and shake hands, their sin, shake hands with me, I'm going to lose a hand. So, but from afar, Assalamu alaikum, inshallah, we've done this. Huh?
My question is it permissible to pray witr after the Adhan of Fajr?
The Prophet, the Adhan of Fajr, because there are narrations that some of the companions used to do that between the Adhan and the Iqamah. But the most authentic opinion is that in the hadith, the authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he says, Salatul Layli Mathna Mathna. The prayer of night prayer. Then he says, and if you fear racism, if I classify you in the society according to what bank account you have, what kind of a car you drive, what neighborhood you live in, what's your job, this is arrogance and it has nothing to do with Islam. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in an authentic hadith, لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. He who has the weight of an ant of arrogance, he will not enter Jannah. A man stood up and said, O Prophet of Allah, we like to have a beautiful dress and fancy shoes. Yani, is this considered to be arrogance, kibr, pride? The Prophet said, Inna Allah jamilun yuhibbul jamal. Allah is beautiful and Allah loves beauty. No, this is fine. Arrogance and pride is rejecting the truth and resenting people. When you have this, then you have haram pride. If you classify, oh, the brother doesn't work in the same level as me. Oh, the brother doesn't drive a fancy car and latest model like me. And I look down upon them, this is haram and not permissible.
The question from the sisters, buying a house and paying it in installments with a higher price compared to the buying it in cash. Is it riba?
This is known as buying an item in installments, بالتقسيط. And I have this bottle of water. You want to buy it cash from me? Sheikh Ya'la comes, I say, I'll sell it for you for $2. The Sheikh comes, and wants to buy it in cash, I'll sell it for him for $3. He says, why are you selling it for me for $3 and for Ya'la for $2? I say, it's none of your business. It's my product. You want to buy it for $3? Go ahead. I want to give it to him as a gift. It's mine. Do you have any justification to object? I can sell it as much as I want. Therefore, the majority of scholars say this selling in installments is halal with two conditions. Very, very important conditions. Number one, that the product is owned by me. I'm the owner. Which means if Sheikh Ya'la or the brother, I've got him, Ibrahim, oh we have 16 Ibrahim here, alhamdulillah. Whose name is Ibrahim? Raise your hand. MashaAllah, I think you have to introduce another name to Gambia because everybody is Ibrahim. I'll meet him, inshallah. So, if Brother Ibrahim wants to buy this and says, Sheikh, I don't have $2. And I say, I'm not willing to sell it except for $2. So he goes to the bank. And the bank says, no problem, I'll sell it for you, but you have to pay me $4 in installments over the period of 2 years. And he says, okay, I'm fine. The man comes to me and gives me the $2 and sells it to him. But before he buys it from me, he wants to guarantee. So he takes the necessary documents, payments, collaterals, because if the bank buys it for $2 and then goes to him and says, Yallah, I want to sell it to you, and he says, I changed my mind. The bank is stuck with it. So the bank does not want to be stuck with it. This is haram. Because the bank is selling what it does not possess. Until it possesses it and owns it, and then can sell it, and he has the right to reject or go ahead with it, this is haram. Until this is fulfilled. Understood? Easy? Easy? Okay, this is condition number 1. Condition number 2. The bank already owned it. No strings attached with Sheikh Ibrahim. No, they call Sheikh Ibrahim, come, we have the merchandise, would you like to buy it? He says, yes, I would like to buy it. He said, Bismillah, sign the contract. How much? $4. I agree, Bismillah. The price has to be fixed. Why? Because usually the bank says you have to pay it over the duration of 2 years. If you default for a month or two, the $4 become $4.50. If you want an extension, we make it $6. Another 10 years extension, we make it $10. This is clean riba. So these two conditions must be fulfilled, otherwise the mortgage, the transaction is totally haram. Bismillah. I did not understand. Barakallahu feek, jazakallah khair.
I was not your videos where you mentioned that a Muslim that does not pray at all is a haram. And a Muslim that prays
On and off.
does not pray consistently is not. Okay, my question is, a Muslim that repents now and is praying consistently, how can the person therefore with the prayer that there are fasting over the days, months, or years?
First of all, I'm not going to go to the introduction of the brother's question that a person who does not pray is a kafir. This is the theoretical concept. But it's different than when we come to the individual. Anyone who does not pray at all is a kafir. Done deal. If someone says, okay, but this brother doesn't pray, 1 + 1 = 2, then he's a kafir. No, it doesn't work like this. Saying that doing something is kufr is different than saying that the individual is a kafir, specifically. So I will not go into this because it would take a long time to explain, but you inshallah understand the concept. The brother is asking What about if I missed few salat in the past and now I've repented and I'm consistent in praying on time? What should I do about the previous salats? Nothing. You cannot make them up. Why? Because Allah made the salat prescribed at specific times. When do we pray Maghrib? When the sun sets. If the sun is setting, not disappear, by 30 seconds, I can still see the tip of the sun, and I start to pray Maghrib. Is my prayer valid? Yes? Yes, yes. No, but it's like India. I don't know if it's yes or no. Either this or this. Huh? No, it's not valid, because the time of Maghrib is when the sun disappears. It has to disappear. It didn't disappear. So you started the prayer before its time, your prayer is invalid. Likewise, if the time of the Maghrib ends by the disappearance of the redness in the horizon, in the west, this is the time of Isha. If it disappears, then the time of Maghrib is over. You want to come and pray? I say, sorry, your prayer is invalid. So the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, when a person sleeps or forgets a prayer, he must pray it as soon as he remembers. There is no expiation, no kafara other than that. He gave two reasons, sleep and forgetfulness. Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah says, alongside with Ibn Uthaymeen, this means that if he neglects the prayer deliberately until the time is expired, then he cannot make it up. I was watching a football match. I was in a conference call. I was in a meeting. I was having lunch. I was just lazy. You cannot make it up. It's like, when do we stand in Arafah in Hajj? On the 9th of the Hijjah. Someone coming early, 1 week, to perform Hajj. He wears his ihram, he goes to the airport officials grab his visa and said, no, you have problems with your papers. Put him in detention. Investigate for 10 days. On the 13th of the Hijjah, after Arafah, after Eid, after the 3 days of Ayyam al-Tashriq, they set him free. He wears his ihram, goes to Arafah. And he stands in Arafah alone. What are you doing? I'm doing my Hajj. What Hajj? Hajj is Arafah. You have to stand in Arafah on the 9th. So, yeah, well, they put me in detention unlawfully. So I'm doing it. No, you can't. It's limited to a specific time. Likewise Salat. Likewise Ramadan. And Allah knows best.
A sister.
What?
A sister asked a question and she says, if on my period, menstruation, if she's on her periods, menstruation, is it permissible for her to go in the masjid, but not for just to go to the masjid?
In the authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ was once doing i'tikaf. I'tikaf is when you put yourself confined to the masjid in seclusion. So you leave the whole world and stay in the masjid. Usually this is done in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Understood? The Prophet's house or houses were adjacent to the masjid, and he had a door from each house. So once he asked Mother Aisha to hand him a piece of cloth. So she said to him, O Prophet of Allah, I am on my menses. I have my monthly period. The Prophet said, I know. Your menses is not in your hand. Meaning, I'm not asking you to enter with your body. I'm asking you to hand me something. So handing something is permissible, which makes us understand that going in physically with your body is not permissible when you are on your menses. And from this hadith, the majority of scholars prohibited a woman on her menses from entering the masjid to sit in it or to do whatever she wants to do with it, and it is not permissible.
Sheikh, what about students of knowledge?
What about students of knowledge? Again, she is exempted from entering the masjid because the hadith is crystal clear. She can delay that, she can do it online, and Allah knows best. Alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Assalamu wa barakatuh.
My name is Ahmed, and my question is about the bid'ah and the Ahlul Bid'ah. Because when it comes to celebrating the Mawlid, with the birthday of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when they hear people sunnah to, that's bid'ah, because what not practice is haram. So they get to tell you that saying that you can't still practice bid'ah, because you can't do, participating ritual benefits like this, and Quran recitation competitions and stuff like that. So they think that bid'ah is like saying,
The question is, first of all, the definition of bid'ah is
To want to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal
through
introducing something and claiming that it is part of the religion. Now, there are things that are means of promoting the religion and they're not considered to be bid'ah, such as the microphones we're using. I need the microphone to deliver my voice in salat, in khutbah, in adhan, and no one says this is a bid'ah, because if there was no microphone, the adhan would still be going, the khutbah would be still be going, and the salat would be still going. So this is not part of the ibadah. And the competitions of the Quran and the lectures, all of these were found at the time of the Prophet ﷺ and the companions. So they're not considered to be an innovation. While the Mawlid and celebrating the birthday of the Prophet ﷺ was never done at his lifetime, nor at the companions or the tabi'een or the tabi'it tabi'een, until the 4th century of Hijrah, when it was introduced by the Fatimis. And those who celebrate the Mawlid, they do this out of a religious commitment. And when you say to them, are you in his mother's womb, prostrating, making takbir, making dhikr, everybody in the gathering must stand up. And certain people come with perfume bottles, spraying it in the gathering.
Yeah, money.
And they would recite a song in Arabic. Marhaban nur aini, marhaban jadd al-Husayni. MashaAllah. Welcome the light of my eyes. Welcome the judge of Al-Husayn. So I said to him, uncle, what are they doing? He said, they are celebrating the spirit of the Prophet ﷺ coming to bless them. And they have food placed at the corner of the room, and this food they give to the sick because the Prophet's spirit and soul blessed it. So I said, uncle, this is not ibadah? He said, no, this is out of respect. I said, okay, uncle, one question. If I refuse to stand up with those who stood, what will happen? He said, you will become paralyzed. I said, okay, if this is not ibadah, what is it? So these people, unfortunately, are people of culture. They are supporting the Mawlid not out of ibadah, but it's a cultural thing. It's us against you. So we're supporting it, we'll stand by it, and we'll die for it. Regardless if it's in accordance to the Quran or Sunnah or opposing it, it doesn't matter. We have to do what we believe. So may Allah Azza wa Jal guide them and grant us the love of our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
My question is, there is this belief and practice among some of the people here that the pregnant woman, sometimes if she's walk at night, she might have an encounter with a jinn or a spirit. This jinn can possess her and change what is in her womb. And the fact that when she gives birth, the child may have big head, or the child will go to the age of 10, 11, 12, not able to talk or not able to walk. So there will come a time when this child will pass away, and then in the next pregnancy, the mother will have the same type of care. And then the child will grow, will be, sick, and the parents will be spending money until they reach a particular age, they will die again. So what they will do is that the next time the mother gives birth, they will put a ring in one of the area of the child. So the child passes away. Next time the mother gives birth and the child comes with a ring, they believe that okay, this is a gift. So some of the elders of the family will secretly snatch the child and eliminate him, meaning the kid. And after that, the mother will start to give birth normally. So my question is, what is the effect of such a belief on Aqid of a Muslim? And second, what is the ruling of killing such an innocent child?
I don't think that this is true. But this is from Bollywood. The girl keeps on giving birth and dies and birth and dies and birth and dies. It's a poultry farm, mashallah. But anyhow, let's assume it's correct and valid. This is shirk. To believe that shaitan has the ability to transform a child from a small head to a big head in X large and medium, and what is this? And to believe that the shaitan has the ability to affect your second pregnancy and third pregnancy unless you put a ring or an earring or the likes, all of this is major shirk. And a clear evidence that such parents do not believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a very serious problem.
Just to add on that, there is a lot of misconception when it comes to medical illness. There are ladies that have poor obstetric history, have the first baby maybe blighted, or have a second baby, the baby with the hydrocephaly, and culturally these are conditions that come to be spiritual, but actually these are medical conditions that people just have a belief that this person has a problem, this person has a problem.
Yes, this is his specialty. I am a layman, he's the Sheikh in medical terminology. This is why he's using big words like this to embarrass me. But usually I'm not easily embarrassed. It's true. It can be a genetic problem, it can be something medical that has to be related to the people of expertise and not something to do with spirituality. We Muslims believe in making dua, making ruqya, and trusting Allah all the way, whatever happens, and be content with that.
سؤالي فيما يتعلق بالتاكسيز. I want to ask about taxis. It's now you pick one car and you give someone, you tell him every day you have to give me $1,000. Some people tell me this one is halal. So I want to understand what is the halal rate for this one.
If I understand the question, I have a Mercedes Benz and I want someone to operate it. If I get someone on my payroll and I say to him, I'll give you a salary of X amount of money, you operate it, but you have to provide me with 100 or 1,000, whatever, every day. Otherwise, I'm going to deduct it from your salary. This is totally haram. If the car is mine and he wants to rent it to operate it as a taxi. And I say to him, your rent is 1,000 a day. If you make 5,000, it's yours. If you don't make 1 dinaro or 1 real or 1 whatever, I don't care. You have to give me my 1,000 that we've agreed upon. This is halal because this is rent. But if he's an employee, for me, I cannot demand that he provides me with this amount of money because it's unlawful. This rizq is in Allah. Maybe he doesn't have anyone to ride with him. Why would I take money from him? It's not lawful. And I hope this answers your question.
Sheikh, there is a question. And it's on the police officers. The question is, what is the ruling of a police officer that is on duty and cannot pray at the time of a particular prayer?
Each individual is ordered to observe the prayer on time. Whether he's a police officer, whether he is a military person, whether he is this or that. Now, with the grace of Allah, Islam is a flexible religion. If a person is responsible in his work for a particular duty that would jeopardize people's lives, if he were to leave and go to prayer, we have to customize his work. Meaning, I am a person in an emergency ambulance. I'm the driver. I'm on call. If I leave my car and go to pray for 10 minutes and they get a call for an emergency, the patient may die. If I'm a surgeon, if I am ordered to protect a shop, or I'm a shopkeeper, if I leave my shop to pray and come back, it will be stolen. In this case, Islam says, pray where you are. Pray to the best of your ability. You can combine prayers if this is a necessity, not a luxury. But if we have 4 police officers, they can swap. One goes to pray, 3 are on the watch. When he comes back, one of them goes and prays, comes back. Everything is done on time, then you cannot skip prayer. So each and every scenario has an answer in Islam with the grace of Allah.
What is the meaning of women giving dawah in public in the presence of non-mahram and the mixed gender Quranic competition?
My stance is that this is not permissible. This defies the purpose of hijab. When a woman stands in front of men, whether to compete in Quran recitation, or to give da'wah, or to share the stage with other men and talking about Islamic affairs, this is totally prohibited, even in Quran competitions. Because Allah prohibited women, the best of women, Allah prohibited our mothers, the wives of the Prophet, the mothers of the believers, from being soft in their voices. Now, how soft can a woman be when she's reciting the Quran? Definitely she would beautify her voice and soften it, and this is haram and defies the purpose of hijab. Allah knows best.
Another question from the sisters. When you accidentally make fun of someone and you never see them again, can you give charity on their behalf for the sake to go away?
I have to give a lot of charity. But I don't make fun of people. Wallahi, I don't at all intend to make fun of people. But I just talk naturally. If I say that he has a husband or something, this is natural. This is not coming as making fun of people. But when you harm a Muslim individual, whether by making fun, by slandering, by backbiting, the default is you seek their forgiveness. The Prophet said, alayhi wasallam, whoever transgresses against his brother, he must clear it before the day of judgment. Because on the day of judgment, there is no dirham or dinar. There is no money. It's only good deeds and bad deeds. So if I did something wrong to a brother and I can't find the brother to apologize or to seek his permission, or I'm unable to seek his permission because that would cause a greater evil. If I ask him or confront him or tell him, in this case, I can ask Allah for forgiveness, I can give charity on his behalf, I can mention him with good things in his absence, hoping that this would compensate. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Uma questão sebenarnya que Islam lepas rumah, wow, na rumah ini apa Islam lepas tonggo apa rumah, orang Islam lepas
I did not hear.
He's asking about what Islam says about accusing people. And we're quoting
Accusing people about what? Accusing people of what? You might accuse people of something that they have done wrong.
The question means slandering.
Okay, if you falsely accuse an individual, then you are slandering them. And this would be cleared out on the day of judgment, as I've just mentioned in the hadith. So you say something false about some brother and you don't ask him for forgiveness. And by the way, so many people come to me on live TV saying, Sheikh, I slandered you in the past, I said bad things about you, and I listened to the people who say things about you, and I repeated that. Now I understand I was wrong, so I ask you to forgive me. What do I say? No, I'm not going to forgive you. Seriously, I'm not going to forgive you. I don't know you. If you repent sincerely, ask Allah for forgiveness, do your level best to clear what you've said against me, on the day of judgment Allah will forgive you. I will not forgive you. Why, ya Sheikh? I don't have anything against you personally, but if I forgive you, I would encourage others to do the same and ask for forgiveness. I'm not a charity organization. So you took the liberty to say whatever evil you want to say against me. That's your problem. I'm fine with it. Yani, as they say, dogs that bark don't bite, let alone if it's a chihuahua. I don't care. Let them bite. But to come and ask me for forgiveness, I will not forgive you. So if you did something wrong, slandered someone, ask Allah for forgiveness, repent, do good deeds, give charity on their behalf, hoping that Allah will forgive you. And if Allah knows that you're sincere, wallahi, Allah will forgive you. And on the day of judgment, He will make that individual satisfied. Allah will tell him, I will compensate you. And the individual says, of course.
This is a general question for the sisters. At your first event at the OIC, you answered a question similar to this. Can you please elaborate and explain the ruling of Islam in regard to the FGM? Is it permissible in Islam? And the differences between circumcision that is accepted in Islam, if it is in accordance with the FGM?
FGM is totally prohibited in Islam because it is a mutilation, while Islamic circumcision is a technical procedure made to enhance the marital relationship between man and a woman. FGM destroys this relationship, prevents a woman from enjoying and having pleasure, while circumcision does not impact that at all. But it has to be done by professionals, by experts, where I think it's called the clitoris is slightly reduced in size without impacting the woman's ability to have her pleasure. I can't be more graphic than this, so I think I will stop here.
My wife was like, I saw this here first, so now I want to go on with something. I would like to shake hands with you so that I can go with something at home. So can I?
The wife sent him to shake hands with you so that he can go back home to shake the hands with the wife.
You sure? Yeah, I think the power is off. No batteries. You sure it's only shaking hands?
Yes, I said my wife saw you first, and she was bragging like I saw the shake first. So now I want to go with something too. I want to shake hands.
Come on. If it's only shaking hands, that sounds fine.
No one invited him first.
Jazakallah khair. Barakallah feek. I have a question. Yes, sir.
I have a question. But first, I have a concern also. You answer this question. One of these guys, he was asking, it was about the postpaid and the prepaid. And I'm a bit confused. This one is a similar one, but it's about, we have an app called the Wave app. Like when you want to send money, and maybe you're shortage of money, because they take charges. So if you don't have money, they can borrow you maybe an amount so that you can send the money. And later on when you have, you can just put the money in and then they will withdraw that money you lend. But if I think yes, if you have a delay of a day, as the day goes by, then they will increase the charges. So I want to know whether it's just interest or...
This is clear interest because it is time versus money. So the more you delay, the more money you put in. The prepaid and postpaid is different. Prepaid, I'm giving them $10 for 1,000 minutes. If this is a transaction, if I want on the spot 100 minutes, not in accordance to the schedule they have, they say, we will top you with 100 minutes, but you have to pay us $5. It's up to you. You want to buy or not buy, this is up to you.
Now we're coming to the critical question. Is it permissible? Like this one, I know it concerns most of the GBCs, because it concerns me a lot. It's about insurance.
About?
Insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah. Especially this car insurance. I think a lot of us, we evade from insurance, especially this yearly insurance.
Okay, first of all,
yeah.
Is car insurance mandated by the government? So if you don't have it, you're fined, or maybe it is halal. Because this is mandated worldwide, even Saudi Arabia. Now, the concept of insurance is not halal. To deal with insurance selectively is not halal because it's like buying a lottery ticket. I buy a lottery ticket for $1. I don't care. $1 is little. There is a chance I will lose my dollar. And there is a very slim chance I will win $1 million. I'm fine with that. This is lottery and it's haram. Insurance is the same. I'm paying $100 every year. If I have a car accident worth of 10,000 in damages, they pay. If I don't have any car accident, 1 year is over, they take the $100 and say, ma'as-salam. Once it is mandated by the government, the sin is on them, and I have to comply with them. However, I must not choose from the different schemes of insurance the highest. So there is a third party liability, which is the minimum required by the government. I should choose this. Oh Sheikh, but there is a full comprehensive insurance where I can fix the whole car in the agency and I can get this, this and this. No, this is extra and this is luxurious. It's like when I'm in a desert, stranded, starving, about to die. If I don't eat, I'm gonna die. And all of a sudden, I find a swine, a pork. So I said, MashaAllah, it's permissible for me to eat from it. So I start to cut it. I prepare pork chops and I marinate it, and I put some balsamic vinegar and call friends, come, we have, alhamdulillah, feast. Hey, what are you doing? I said, Allah permitted me, because I was going to die. Allah permits you to eat 1 or 2 morsels to stay alive, not to feast on it. So when you take the full insurance coverage, you are feasting on it. Allah knows best.
Sheikh, another question. How can you reconcile between someone who looks like she tries in the day, but hatwa about fertility is taking long to the answer?
I do not understand.
How can you reconcile between someone who looks like she's trying in the deen?
Who's trying?
She's trying in the deen.
In the deen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But her dua about fertility is taking long to the answer.
Okay, so the question is, does Allah answer our dua? This is the summary. The answer is yes. The sister says, I've been asking Allah Azza wa Jal to grant me a child for the past 10 years and He did not answer. So how do you say that Allah answers dua? I say this is due to your ignorance. I wouldn't say you're stupid, but this is due to your ignorance. How? The Prophet told us alayhi salatu wasalam that Allah answers the dua. So you have to believe in that. But He also told us that the dua's answering is in 3 forms, 3 ways. Oh Allah, grant me $1,000. Allah grants me $1,000. How? Sheikh Ya'la says, oh Sheikh, I borrowed from you $1,000 50 years ago, you don't remember it, here it go. It's a gift. I was not even remembering it. A relative dies, I inherit $1,000. The government gives me a bonus. Anyway, I get $1,000 to answer my dua. Form number 1. Form number 2. Oh Allah, grant me $1,000. Nothing comes. But I was driving today and all of a sudden this madman comes in front of me. I was almost going to have an accident. I avoided him by this much. Subhanallah, if I crashed into him, that would have broken my front lamp and it would have costed me $1,000. So the second form is, you ask Allah for something, Allah doesn't give it to you, but Allah deflects something that was predestined to happen, but because of your dua, Allah protects you from it. Interesting. Number 3, Ya Allah, give me $1,000. Allah doesn't give me $1,000 in cash. Allah does not deflect harm coming my way worth of $1,000. But Allah stores it for me on the Day of Judgment on the form of good deeds. So on the Day of Judgment I come and I'm shown, these are your good deeds. So, I did this, but this is not mine. Said, yes, you ask Allah for this and for this and for this and for this. Allah has stored it in for you. So when you go to a doctor, and you ask him, you say, doctor, I'd like the following medication, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does the doctor give it to you? No. The doctor says, it doesn't work like this. I have to examine you. I have to do lab tests. I have to take x-rays, and then I will decide what you need. Allah has the highest of all examples. Allah gives you what you need, not what you want. So you say, I've prayed for Allah for a child for 10 years, nothing came. Allah knows that this is best for you. If you read Surah Al-Kahf, the couple that had a child, Al-Khidr, what did he do to him? Decapitated him, took his head off. How did the couple feel? Very, very disturbed and bad. My only child died. He was assassinated. He was killed. Al-Khidr said, Allah knew that the child would have grown up to be a nuisance, a cause and means of trouble. So Allah decided to replace them with something better. You never know what Allah has stored for you, but you trust Allah Azza wa
Jalla. Another question. Is it okay for publicists to take antidepressant tablets?
I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know. Some people have an issue with depression, and specialists, psychiatrists, Muslims who fear Allah would see that it is best for you to take Prozac or antidepressants that suit your case. That's fine. But to go to a non-Muslim psychiatrist would always prescribe you medication, opioids that may put you in addiction and would be harmful more than useful. So you need to go to a Muslim psychiatrist to decide.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu.
Are we allowed to eat Christmas food?
Are they allowed to eat Christmas?
Says, happy birthday, Sheikh Hassim. Here is a gift. I can take it and say, Jazakallah khair. If they bring me a cake, they said, we celebrated our nephew's birthday this morning and we brought you this cake. I can take it and eat it if I'm not diabetic. If they give me on Christmas Eve or on Thanksgiving a piece of turkey with gravy and I'm in home, I can take it and eat it. What is not permissible is to participate in their gatherings, congratulating them, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Thanksgiving, and helping or endorsing or assisting them on it. I hope this answers your question.
Sheikh, another question from the sisters is working in the legal department. In the legal department. Yeah, in the legal department, in a regular bank.
In a regular bank. A conventional bank is based on riba. A conventional bank is a bank that takes your money, deposit it with them, and they utilize 90% of your deposits, knowing that the 10% you will never ask for more than that. So they utilize your 90% by lending it to borrowers, financing projects with riba, giving it to mortgage seekers with riba. So the whole entire work of the conventional bank is based on lending and borrowing in riba, which is interest. Scholars say, even working as a driver, picking up people from the airport and coming back, or as a janitor, cleaning the toilets in the bank, or as a security guard is prohibited.
Sheikh. My question is, in Nigeria, we have a problem where people are accustomed to wearing amulets. They wear something on a wooden board and they wash it up. They will either tie in something and tie to themselves, and then they say that it can protect them from evil things, or it will bring them good fortune. When you tell them that this is not good, it's they will argue that why is it allowed to recite some Quranic verses, just like the Prophet was like I forget the verse. Allah la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatun. Then you just say you no, I don't think that. You know yourself already.
Wallahi, I could not understand except the wiping.
Yeah, wiping. So, I want to
let me
He said people who use amulets, you tell them it's haram. They said why people say Ayatul Kursi, Nas, and then why?
Okay, so if I understand the question correctly, people who use amulets and ta'weez, when we tell them that this is shirk and haram, they say, then why do people use Ayatul Kursi and the last three quls to wipe themselves? This is very weird. It's like saying to the people who worship Buddha, you cannot worship Buddha. They say, okay, why are you worshipping the Kaaba? Why are you praying for the Kaaba? I said, you're not praying for the Kaaba. You're crazy. This is a direction we Muslims are ordered to pray in its direction. Nobody worships the Kaaba. You know that we climb over the Kaaba and walk on top of it. You know that. There's no problem in that. So the people who argue like this, they have a problem in their understanding. Who told us to recite Ayat al-Kursi and the last three quls and to wipe ourselves before going to bed or to do ruqyah? The Prophet ﷺ. And who denied us and prohibited us from wearing ta'weez and amulets and tamima? The Prophet ﷺ. So this is a no-brainer, and Allah knows best.
Sheikh, what about the edible Quran? Edible, like the Quran they make when it can be taken in water.
What about eating the Quran? I don't think nobody eats the Quran, but maybe drink water that you recite ruqyah on. This is done by some of the Salaf. Some of the Salaf used to write verses of the Quran such as Ayat al-Kursi and the last three quls with saffron on a plate. So when you write it with saffron, you can see it. Then they wash it, then they drink the water with it. This is done by the Salaf. Sheikh bin Baz says this is fine, there is no problem in that because it is form of healing using the Quran.
Okay, Sheikh, this is the last question. The last one. It's from the sisters of the audience. What is the Islamic ruling on men that practice as midwives?
The man is a midwife?
Probably she's asking because she works with men in the hospital.
See, a man is not supposed to treat the opposite gender, women. And a woman is not allowed to treat men. This is the default and norm. There is an exception when there is a necessity. So if a man is a doctor, if he's a gynecologist, and he's in the hospital, and a pregnant woman comes to delivery, and there are no women to assist her, maybe there is a midwife that can help in certain areas, but if there is a need of intervention due to complications, how am I using the terminology? Good? So if there is need for intervention due to complication, then the doctor, the male doctor, has to intervene. This is permissible. Likewise, when a woman needs to work with other women in the delivery, and if there is a complication, she calls the doctor and the doctor comes and she assists. This is also permissible due to the necessity.
Barakallahu fi. Allah, Sheikh, the questions are very many, but we cannot complete everyone. And this brings us to the end of the question and answer session. I know a lot of you will be there asking why the questions were not answered, but inshallah, we are going to keep all the papers and I will pass them to Sheikh Hakeem. And through his lectures, Sheikh Yala, Sheikh Ibrahim, Sheikh Hassim himself, if they would answer the majority of the questions, even from previous events, inshallah. We really appreciate you guys coming, and hopefully this benefited each and everybody of us. I would like to call Sheikh Yala to give a closing remark, inshallah, as we wind up.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm not going to make it a speech, but first of all, I thank our main speaker and his guest speaker, Mr. Gambia Sheikh Hakeem, for making time for us, given us, and they also subhanahu wa ta'ala benefit people in the Gambia and people around the world to what is lecture with the knowledge you share with us. And I would like to thank all our mashaykhs for the work we have done, our volunteers, and everyone who has been attending these lectures. Alhamdulillah. This marks the end of JANNATUL-EMAN Banjul Gambia Dawah Tour. We named it JANNATUL-EMAN from the word that we say by Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah. He says that the dunya jannah, man lam yadkhulha la yadkhul jannatul akhirah. He says that in the dunya we have the paradise. If someone doesn't enter it, they won't attain the paradise of akhirah. And it was made JANNATUL-EMAN. That is the paradise of Iman. We thank you so much. I thank our chairman, and I would love to call upon all our volunteers, inshallah, to come here just for a good photo. Inshallah, we call it a day. Only the organizers and the ushers, inshallah, to come and represent others, to just have a photo, inshallah, we call it a day. Allow me to call upon the chairman to thank you, and those as the words from me, barakallahu fikum wa jazakumullahu khairan.
Barakallahu fikum. Bismillah, wa sallallahu wa sallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi. ومن زاد في الدين. Sheikh has been here for so long, I don't think I have a lot to say, but it's been an amazing 3 days of JANNATUL-EMAN in the Gambia, and I just want to say thank you very much to everyone that came with us from the beginning, from Saturday, Sunday, and today Monday. And also, inshallah, we will have not only this year, but subsequent years, inshallah. Barakallahu fikum.
Yala, come and take your phone. Yala. Ya Ala, come and take your phone.
Those good old days have gone when the Prophet used to lead. Good old days, when the Sahaba used to lead. Good old days, those good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the Prophet used to lead. Good old days, when the Sahaba used to lead. Good old days, good old days. Those good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live. Good old days, good old days. When the Sahaba used to live. Good old days, good old days. When the prophet used to live with his Sahaba. Those days were the best of days. They used to live and love one another, prefer a brother over themselves. The most merciful is their witness. That's why he says, Ruhama, Ruhama ubainahum, yeah. The way the Sahaba love each other, yeah. Those good old days, good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live. Good old days, good old days. When the Sahaba used to live. Good old days, good old days. Those good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live. Good old days, good old days. When the Sahaba used to live. Good old days, good old days, good old days, good old days. It has never happened in the annals of history, the way the Sahaba love each other. In times of hardship, they take the lead. When there was ease, they ikram each other, just to give a chance to a brother, preferring each other over themselves. The most merciful is their witness. That's why he says, Ruhama, Ruhama ubainahum, yeah, yeah. The way the Sahaba love each other, yeah. Good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live. Good old days, when the Sahaba used to live. Good old days, those good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live. Good old days, good old days. The holy prophet says, the best generation are those who lived with him, and then those who follow. Those who follow Abu Bakr ibn Abu Kuhafa Siddiq, Omar ibn al-Khattab Farouk, Usman ibn Affan Zunnuraini, Ali ibn Abi Talib Karamallahu wajhahu. Good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live, when the Sahaba used to live. Good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live. Good old days, when the Sahaba used to live. Good old days, good old days. Those good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live. Good old days, when the Sahaba used to live. Good old days, those good old days, those good old days, those good old days have gone when the prophet used to live.